Alright, so now we're going to do another example. And this example is going to be a little bit more complicated because we're going to have one more variable than we did last time. So this time, we're going to expand 2x times x plus 3. So before, we didn't have that x here. Now, we have this extra x. Well, you know how to expand this. We did this last week. So, you multiply 2x times x and then you multiply 2x times 3. And what you get is 2x squared plus 6x. Now, again, what we want to do is we want to take this and get it back in that form. And that's what we call factoring. So we want to factor 2x squared plus 6x. But before we can factor, what we have to do is we have to find out what's common between this term and this term. So how do we do that? Well, here we have a 2 out in front of the x squared. And what we ask ourselves is, does 2 go into 6? And the answer is yes, 2 does go into 6. As we can see up here, 2 times 3 is 6. So we put the 2 out in front of the brackets. So now we need to ask ourselves, is there anything else that's common between these two terms that we can also pull outside of the brackets and put here? And the answer is yes, there is something else that's common between 2x squared and 6x. And what that is x. The reason being, 2x squared is really just 2 times x times x. So you can see one of these x's is common with this x over here. So what we're able to do is also pull that out and put that outside of the brackets as well. So now that we have our common term, we're able to start filling in what's inside of the brackets. And how we do that is we work backwards and we pretend like we're going to expand it in order to get it to match the terms above. So 2x times what is going to give you 2x squared? Well, in this case, it's just x, as you can see over here. Now, we need to find out the second term. So the real question is 2x times what is going to give us 6x? Now we know that 2 times 3 is equal to 6. So the x doesn't change that. Now 2x times positive 3, and once we have this plus 3 here, we have completed our factored form. Because if you expand this back out, what you will see is that we get exactly what we started with. So let's do that. So we'll check, and we'll say 2x times x plus 2x times 3. And when we expand that out, we get 2x squared plus 6x. So you can see that it does work. And thus our factored form is 2x times x plus 3.